egg has been planted.
Rings, a documentary on Star Citizen's cheating underworld. Let's go. That's, once again, video by Avenger One. And we're going to watch through it and see what's going on. I have an expectations of a bit of a cringe on the video. Like, no offense. It's just, I expect already because I don't think I will see anything new in the video. I think it's just my little bit intro before the start. I don't want to offend anyone, but I just feel I'm going to cringe a bit because I don't think there is going to be anything new. I think we're just getting another wave of hype. And just a talking point to just, you know, create content. That's it. And I will probably comment and do a lot of pausing and just comment on the way. And then if I feel I was wrong, I will correct myself, okay? This is Chris calling.
Hey, you wanted to talk?
I wanted to check with you because your name came up. Were you...
Oh, you see, like, that's what I'm talking about. It's like extremely cringe from the start. I wanted to talk to you because your name came up, you know? I don't even think it's like literally a real talk between someone. It's just a pre-recorded, it's not even documentary at this point. It's just a pre-recorded, what's you call it? What's the other word for documentary? You know, it's just a Hollywood movie.
Exposing or working to expose a cheating ring using cheat engine and cheat tables?
Sorry, dude. I mean, I don't know who you are. Like, are you a SIG dev or something?
No. I'm a third party working with the anti-cheat team, but I am not employed by CIG. I am a third party.
Look, I've been burned by this stuff, like, especially recently. You've probably seen on Reddit. Like, maybe I was wrong, man, but like something just didn't feel right. But, you know.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't feel right.
No, it shouldn't. It's like, Neo, what pill are you going to take? You know, red or blue? It's like literally like, what, are we going into the Matrix? It's just, I always feel cringe when I look at this content. Maybe like there is an audience that like it, but it's like this fake documentary, you know, style where the dialogues are written down, you know, or at least they feel to be written down or edited like this. It's...
I don't know how or why, but you kicked the hornet's nest. This goes way bigger than a couple of hackers. What if I told you that your video itself did more within these rings than anything I've ever seen before? I don't know if you know what's really going on, but right now CIG needs all of our help. Star Citizen might not recover from what's about to happen.
Star Citizen might not... Hell, like, dudes, are you like... is it like you never knew what cheats are in any other game? Hello? Like, have you ever... It's been like 2 decades of full-on online gaming. Like, it's like they discovered something new, like cheating in games. Oh, man.
Well, what do you... okay, so back up. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That I was right about the guys that I accused?
What if I told you, like, I
Oh, he was right about all the guys he accused?
have proof. I have proof there's a hacker ring bigger than anyone is willing to admit. I'm talking real money transfers, speed hacks, ship.
Anyone is willing to admit. Dudes, I was talking about the speed hacks and all that shit for years. I'm just feel so bad I never like immortalized all of that with just putting those takes on YouTube. They just vanished from Twitch because Twitch is utterly shit and it destroys your VODs. Anyone is willing to admit. Like, it's speed hacks and all that stuff is the basic of cheating in the game. It's nothing new. It's nothing surprising. It's been always there. People been dying from like Avenger Stalkers that will fire at insane fire rate, and if only one bullet hits you, you're dead. It's been there out for years. Like, why such a tone? Why such a drama about it? It's crazy, yo. It's just crazy.
manipulation, infinite shields. I've got dates. I've got screenshots. I've got names. I've got gamer tags.
All of this is an old thing. Like, these videos were out on YouTube for quite a while.
I've got videos to prove it. They're after you. You hit really close to home, and I want to know why.
Okay.
Oh my god, real money trade in an online game. Imagine. Like it never happened in any other online game. This will destroy Star Citizen, and Star Citizen will never recover from it. Ouch.
Okay, prove it.
You got it.
These videos are also old. It's not nothing new. It's been there on 11th Hangar. Like, I've seen it like, I don't know. I don't want to say like a year ago, maybe a year ago, maybe less, but it's, and I wasn't the first person to see it. Like, why would you do a Machinima from a video that is about cheating? Why would you do a Machinima from Machinima, whatever you call it in English, from a video about cheating? What's the point of the author of this video? Is he talking about cheating, or he's like getting hype?
What exactly is truth?
Like, literally every phrase, dude. What exactly is truth? It reminds me of a... Never mind.
Too afraid to speak it. For me, I've been wrestling with a struggle I feel many will understand.
Oh shit, dude. No one is afraid to talk about the truth. That was obvious for years.
Do you tell your side of a story at great personal risk? Or damage control what little you can and continue on?
Oh my God.
2 months ago, I took that risk. I put my cards on the table, and I was wrong. Or so it seemed. I knew what my heart was telling me. I knew what I saw, and my gut was telling me the same thing.
This poor guy, yo, in a whatever he was, Scorpius or Hurricane, man, I still feel bad for him.
But the possibility of being wrong could just not be ignored. And after a reaction video that gave evidence my instincts were indeed wrong, I decided to write an experience off as a learning one and try my best to move on. The following weeks ensued a hailstorm of people hating. Just like the morphologist incident, the Star Citizen community turned quickly and violently on its own. Despite the years of videos or the things that we had achieved, the successes and the failures.
Oh, Vaction is here, look. Vaction is here.
All the Star Citizen Reddit had to say was how much they hated me. Death threats, angry messages, too numerous to count. YouTube comment sections so...
Okay, dude, you're not special. I'm getting death threats just because I play the game in pirate, okay? Avenger, dude, just relax. I've been told so many times to burn down in a car accident with my entire family just for taking someone's caterpillar with distilled spirits. You cannot imagine, dude. You're not special. It's all good. It's called online gaming. I'm even surprised you even bring this up while playing EVE Online before for so long. It's honestly crazy. It's beyond cringe.
You'd expect to see this at a murder trial. I thought to myself,
he is the sort of insufferable that renders an immense positive attribute completely mute, like dog poop on a wild suede shoe. I mean, this is not a dog. It's a dog threat. Yeah, it's not a death threat for sure. community needs to stop glorifying this guy. He's a bad sport. I mean, this is not a death threat either.
Myself, what did I do?
Oh, God.
A mix of bad timing with Star Citizen's development and continued delays of 318, it seemed like the SC community had found its new hate magnet, and it was placed squarely on me.
I think if there is a small fraction of community that doesn't like you, it's like you cannot combine it into entirely like saying Star Citizen community. I'm pretty sure like there are much more people in Star Citizen community that doesn't like me. Do I really care? Do I even bring this up? Who cares? Just play and move on. What's up? Like, what's wrong with it? You will, especially being a PvP player, you will never satisfy everyone in the community.
It seems it's cool these days to hate each other.
It was cool to hate each other in online gaming since online gaming became a thing. Since Ultima Online, again, dude, you went through the freaking EVE Online. It's like, why are you even surprised?
Instead of growing as a person, the instinct to demonize overwhelms the masses, especially on the internet. And sometimes people don't make it through that kind of pressure. Despite reaching out and admitting failure, that I got it wrong to the very Scorpius paths that I had implicated, and the River Talk filmed in my local woods explaining how I felt about the situation, the fires of hate burned brighter still. I'm no stranger to people's frustrations, and I've seen what the cancel mob does to those it deems unworthy.
I mean, the cancel mob, he doesn't even know what cancel mob is. He's never been cancelled. No one actually cancelled him. That is quite a big talk to victimize himself. I'm sorry, Avenger, for saying this, you know, dude, but that's what it is.
But I had never seen it become this violent, and never this violent towards me before. Weeks went by of consistent stream sniping. Almost every stream became a taxing, arduous thing to get through. Reddit posts of people making or looking to capitalize on the fires, sending deranged videos of them in their basement attempting to character assassinate. Overnight, it became cool to trash talk and discredit all the work I had done up to this point. I would be lying if I said it didn't affect my mental health. But like all things in life, the storm passes.
Yeah, maybe I'm too thick-skinned, okay? Maybe I'm like too thick-skinned and like this shit just usually cannot tilt my mental health. Like if I would feel like streaming and putting up myself to any kind of stream sniping or witch hunting would actually tilt my mental health, I would probably never even start streaming to start with, right? It's like it's the thing you kind of take on whenever you start like streaming, at least professionally or semi-professionally, right? Yeah, like this is nothing. Tumblr, right? This is nothing compared to what happened in EVE back in the day. This is literally nothing. This game is about nothing. It has no goals, nothing to achieve, nothing. There are zero stakes at everything you do besides your own ego. Like the only thing that can be at stake is your own ego, and that is like a problem of a person in question. Like I get my ego hurt from time to time in the game, either when I do super silly and bad, like wrong move, and I would like, you know, die somewhere, or to someone will troll me, and I would like, man, that turned out like to be so bad, you know, and I just could have done better, and I kind of look silly now in front of my like viewers. Yeah, but will it really like tilt my mental health? Nah. I'll just move on. I'm gonna kind of feel like shit, you know. Oh, man, I kind of humiliated myself on stream, you know. I should have like done better, like chose another like option in whatever scenario. But it's like it's not gonna freaking tilt my mental.
I had put all this behind me and wrote it off as one big mess up. Until I received a Discord message from a man.
Ooh, secrecy.
That would start a chain of events and lead me down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, all this like chain of events, rabbit hole.
I thought I would never enter.
It's just probably the way the video is made that cringes me, right? Like, I think that is why I'm like memeing so much.
It had been over a month, and I had finally started to move on from the drama when this man, Branican,
Branican,
came to me claiming that he was working with CIG.
If you have a second, I think we need to talk. Do you have a Discord you're a part of that I can join really quick? I'm on the anti-cheat team for CIG. Wanted to talk to you about a certain cheat engine script you might know about. It's like weird that the Branican never ever before had in SC community had not communicated like to Avenger 1. The Branican is an OG guy in Star Citizen community. He's like super tech savvy. He does all in-engine stuff. He deeps deeper into the game than anyone can imagine. Like, if my knowledge of the game is purely game mechanical and understanding the values, this dude goes like 10 levels deeper, right? 10 levels deeper in terms of like the code and all that stuff.
Immediately I suspected a troll, or maybe someone trying to work an angle.
The Branican is not a troll. He is a legit guy. He's a legit guy, and unless that account is not really him and someone with a similar name.
To try and get me wrapped up back in the fire that was Leshak's video. The man claimed a lot. He claimed he knew information and that I was under investigation, and they had been watching me for quite some time. Knowing full well the tornado of drama that would ensue if I ever became...
Hey there, sorry, was AFK, you sent a message and deleted it, so I wanted to check with you because your name came up. Were you exposing or working to expose a cheating ring using cheat engine and cheat tables? I posted some CG stuff that I was told to retract. The name Astoppy, Asatoppy, or Bilbina sounds familiar. You were specifically named, so I thought I would straight up ask.
Wrapped up in this again. I inquired to some friends at CIG to see if this guy was telling the truth. To my surprise, he checked out. He mentioned two names, Astoppy and Bilbono.
Okay.
Both of which I had never heard before. He explained that he had been deep undercover for years, investigating what he called hacking rings.
Deep undercover.
Groups of cheaters linked to...
What means deep undercover? He's just sitting in their Discord and like paying the cheat to get access to it? Like, I wonder. But we'll not get into that. It's a good effort though. So like if you're undercover, whatever that means in a cheating society, that's not bad. So yeah, it's just this RPing just destroys me. It just makes me cringe. Like my teeth are like cracking, right? But overall, I understand what they're talking about, and that's a valiant effort on the side of the Branican, because I know what that dude. I have a lot of respect to him, and I know that dude, and he's crazy good at understanding like the insides out of the game, right? So I have a huge respect to the Branican. So if he's doing something, he probably has a reason for it. It's just the way like Avenger describes it, it just makes me cringe.
Together via Discords at different levels of security. Telegrams and various websites all linked these aliases together, and all of them cheating in Star Citizen. As enticing his claims were, I still hadn't seen anything of substance or evidence that made me feel I wanted to get involved with this. I knew CIG had people watching for cheaters, but I had no idea how far the rabbit hole went. The instinct to distrust is a strong feeling in the spy business.
It's like, look, we've been through 7 minutes of the video and we heard nothing.
When we discovered that we had met before, we knew right then and there we're on the same side.
Oh yeah, baby.
Okay, well,
Oh look, that's Eve Online. Yeah, because oh, okay, I know where this is going. So Avenger 1, aka Templar 1, aka whatever his name was in Eve, is a creator of Bomber Squad, Bomber Bar, whatever. The name was for that, and he was like, you know, a leader of that thing in Eve for quite a while. So probably they know each other. Bomber Squad. So probably they know each other from Eve.
we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna sit 10K off a target, we're gonna blap it
Bomber's Bar, yeah, Bomber's Bar, yep.
really quick, and then we're gonna warp to the run spot. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Stand by.
The Bombers Bar,
Yeah.
an organization I created and ran for years back in EVE Online,
Years.
made its way back into my life in the most spectacular way.
Yeah.
The Branican, as he goes by now,
They were like specializing on, as far as I remember, on like at some point, bombers were released like in EVE Online. There was like a stealth thing that would like use. I think they were able to launch like the big bombs that would deal AoE damage. They were not guided, so you had to like specifically shoot them at specific distance and understand the timing. They will explode and they will just go straight forward where your ship was pointing. And also the same ships would be using like cruise missiles, I think, which was huge to the frigate size of the ship.
was an old spy master I had worked with all those years ago.
Okay, so the Branican was a spy master in EVE. Like, spy masters were a thing in EVE Online because like the game was so much about espionage. Like, it was like the half of the gameplay, right? Oh, they were even launching torps. Okay, that wasn't cruise missiles. Okay, torps. Understood. It's basically what an eclipse is. Like, if you can transfer Star Citizen into EVE Online, and on top of that, it could also launch a huge, massive bomb. I remember like those bombs would hit each other with AoE, and they would have resistances to its own kind of damage. So there was like only a certain amount of bombs you could launch at a time and all that stuff. I don't know how it is right now though.
Before I was Avenger 1. Two friends long ago reunited again to fight a hacking ring threatening to destroy the game we both love. He explained to me that exactly 1 month prior, before I had met him, he had noticed rumblings in the hacking rings. His contacts were feeding intel in. He knew I was somehow involved. Either I was cheating, or I was exposing someone who was.
That's very weird like approach. I still don't understand how the Branican, after being for so long in the Star Citizen community, like, I know the dude. We talked to him back in the day. Like, I haven't seen him in a while on my streams or in my like Twitch DMs or whatever, but like, I know the dude. How the Branican never knew who Avenger 1 was? And I'm not talking about the relationship between them and Eve. That's understandable. They probably had like different names, so they had no idea. Back in the Eve days, they would never see each other's faces. Like, video feed on Discord wasn't a thing. All that stuff. But like, how he doesn't know who Avenger 1 overall is, like, Avenger 1 is kind of big on Twitch, and overall as a persona, no matter like how I like my personal whatever feelings to him, it's just it's weird. He never knew, and it's weird. Avenger 1 was there was even a suspect of him of cheating. Because, obviously, Avenger 1 is not cheating, right? So,
either way, it was a risk for him at the time to contact me. If I had been cheating, I would have alerted the rings to more attention, and likely to Branican, would have lost another spy. Some of the puzzle pieces were starting to fit, and the conversations I had with the Branican made me even more curious and want to dig a little deeper. But we both knew we couldn't do this alone. And the Branican told me that if there was anybody else in the game who was going to help us uncover all of these rings and bring evidence and proof.
Honestly, this video feels like he's trying to get ahead of things. Yes, I think this video is purely drama, hype, motivated and driven, and I have already my thoughts on this video. But I will probably say them at the very end. When this is done, when we go through entire video, I will kind of say why I really don't appreciate it.
It was a gentleman named the 11th Hour, a fellow hacking hunter, and
Yeah, I know,
also another spy master.
That's where I've seen the videos that, like, for Avenger 1, at least in this video, that he showed like something new at the start, right? I don't know why it is a revelation for him. It's like it's been out there for quite a while. Like,
we decided to bring him into the fold because with all three of us, maybe, just maybe, we could have a chance to break what's really going on. And
I don't
luckily
think you
enough,
have a chance of breaking that down.
11th was on our side too. When the three of us got together, we knew we had a case, and we knew we could expose Bilbono and show the hacking ring for what it was. But there was still one more piece we had to rule out.
This dude, I feel so bad for him.
I knew I had to talk to Leshak.
I feel so bad for this guy. For this guy, for Scorpio.
Delayed.
It's all good.
Nice to meet you. To think that we're actually on a call with Avenger 1, Zach.
I think, like, Scorpio is just too new to community, and he kind of praises Avenger 1. If I would be on his, like, if I would be on the spot of Scorpio, and I've been accused by Avenger, I would fucking cancel him, literally. And then he would know what is a cancel culture for real, right? It's just that guy's new and he's amazed by Avenger 1. Yeah, I think that's the problem, that he still even talks to him.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, think about that for a second, dude.
So,
we're really big fans of Avenger 1, so.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
is
I
it?
mean, and I apologize for all the stuff that happened all that time ago. And the reason I'm calling is because I have some information
Oh, he actually finally apologized properly.
that I want to share with you guys. And like I was telling your brother, I'm taking a big risk, but I think it's the right thing to do. Because I genuinely believe that in order for Star Citizen to survive, it cannot have cheaters.
Bone Death, I will get to that later. About, like, in every game and why this video exists. I will get to that later.
And that night where you guys fought me, I had experienced a few people cheating before I met you, and all my bells were ringing.
No, yeah, I was actually talking with Zach about this very thing. I was saying, when you get to the highest level of anything, the statistical proportion of cheaters is going to be much higher.
This is a wrong assumption, because if you get to a highest level of anything in a competitive game where you have matchmaking, yes, that statement is true. When you have matchmaking and you get into high tier lobbies in any battle royales or anything else, the proportional statistics of meeting a cheater skyrockets. It just skyrockets, but not in a game like Star Citizen.
And that, I think, is something that you might see a lot more often than we might see, or the average Star Citizen player might see, for that matter. So I thought it was...
You probably might notice it more, right? If you are on a higher level, you can identify the issue and someone cheating, and you can notice it more than an average player. That is true, right? But in an open world, it's like whatever. Unless someone is specifically hunting you. and coming up with different accounts over and over again with cheating, you know?
Probably not as big of a deal as a lot of people were making it out to be, frankly.
We spoke
What is this? Is this their Discord?
for over an hour. We traded stories. I
Give me a
showed
second.
them. We spoke
Not as big of a deal as a lot of people were making it out to be, frankly.
Yeah, it's their
We
Discord.
spoke for over an hour. We traded stories. I showed them videos and evidence that I had collected over the time. And I had asked them some basic questions to ease my own mind to make sure that they indeed were not the devils I thought they were. I've had times in this community and in this game that helped me renew my faith in not just humanity, but in people. I left that conversation knowing that what I was doing to try and expose these cheaters was the right thing, and that no matter who you are, or what side you fight for, or what has happened to you before.
Like, am I listening to Squadron 42 Congress motivational speech or a video about the cheaters? That's my main problem. Like, that's why probably I'm just out of like YouTube culture or whatsoever. I don't know. It's like I had enough motivational speech from my parents in my life, you know?
That we can all come together to fight a common enemy.
I don't know how we could do it. We could make some type of public statement or something like that. Like, hey, we agree with you. Like, we do. We personally agree with you in your assessment. I think Grom looks like he's cheating.
Oh shit, that
Yeah,
looks
I
sus.
genuinely think
You're
it is
talking
too.
about. So I would say
So this, what he shows now, looks really sus.
that there are a couple of things that
Oh
are
yeah, this is definitely a cheat.
necessary for this to succeed.
This is definitely insane on acceleration. Like, what you see right now on
One
the
of those
video...
things, agree with you in your, we
so-
agree with you. Like, we
Carefully, I don't know if you can see it good, like, because I'm restreaming the video, right? But look at the video right now and look at the pip very carefully, right? Look at the pip very carefully and notice how it accelerates. It doesn't accelerate. It doesn't move how it would usually move when the ship is getting desynced. It wouldn't jump. It wouldn't just jump or stutter. It's a smooth movement like a ship would actually accelerate, insanely accelerate. Like, carefully watch at the ship and at the pip, right?
do. We personally agree with you in your assessment. I think Grom
You see?
looks like he's cheating here.
You see how
Yeah.
the pip moves? It moves fast but smoothly. It's definitely that is definitely extremely sus, right? So I agree on that.
Looks
I
like
genuinely think
you're
it is
talking
too.
about. So I would say that there are a couple of things
You
that are
see?
necessary.
It doesn't just jump or teleport. It actually moves like it gets those ticks from the server of the pip movement. It doesn't like teleport, right? It actually smooth, but it's extremely fast.
For this to succeed. One of those things is deductive reasoning. So we need to have clear evidence. We need to have something like, Grom, for instance, is associated with this hacker ring, and you can show that he's associated in a pretty indisputable way. I think that would be a pretty good logical nexus and would give a lot of bedrock to the case. I think if you can pull that off, that would probably be enough. But I wouldn't do it without something like that, a clear, demonstrable nexus between Grom and this cheater ring.
So kind of.
You
one
can
thing
quote
that
us.
I'd
You can
bring
say
up-
in the video that Grom fight, it looks
yeah,
exactly
it-
like
yeah.
the cheat you're talking about.
It's like weird. Why would he even need their quote about like they feel? I mean, if you would be quoting a CAG employee, I would understand that, but
We
And-
will go on record. We'll say
yeah, straight
that
up.
looks like it to us. Like if we were seeing that, we were flying that, we would have said something like, "Okay, that looks like a cheat. That
Yeah,
looks pretty ridiculous."
I would have.
Yeah.
I am 100% on your side. I think
Yeah,
that you're
straight up.
right here. I think that these two examples, they seem to be a lot more. They seem to be very plain to me. I
Mhm.
think there are weird things happening in these. Clearly, not the way the game is supposed to function.
okay.
After reaching out to Grom and D34 for any information on whether Grom was cheating or not that night, and knowing that the Scorpius wasn't involved, we set out to make sure we put all the puzzle pieces together. and Ace Toppy.
Okay, another Discord, probably cheating Discord screenshot. Does anyone know this player? And then they link to a clip of Avenger 1. It's weird how people like get so deep inside of Star Citizen developing cheats and they don't even know the main actors. That's like super weird. It's like the same thing why Branican never knew about Avenger 1, right? Everyone from now on, current and future users will have to send their RSI handles and usernames to either me or Bilbano. Please start now. The same goes for me. If you could send me and dock your IGN, it'd be greatly appreciated. It'll make it easier for us to group up in 3.18.2. Okay, so it could be another cheat provider. I know Star Table is not the only one on the market. It could be someone from the Night City clan. If he gets caught, he'll be banned from it. The creator of it is pretty strict when it comes to fuckwits. Or some other random. Give me a second. Or some other random. I knew a few other people who fuck around with the game, and I'm sure they haven't stopped. If it's someone from here, be careful in the future. Turn super thrust in PvP combat and act like you have a limited ammo. Probably turn off super thrust. I think that's what he meant. Jesus, I mean, Avenger 1, come on guys, you can't go full tilt at the biggest streamer in the game. Dude has a direct line to the devs. What an idiot. The cheater is fresh account, so could be anyone.
Was at the top of that list. The same night I had encountered Grom and the Scorpius pilot is the same time that this Discord lit up trying to find out who exactly it was in their community that was cheating in front of me. If Grom wasn't cheating, why was the leader of a cheat looking for him? And why is D34 still remaining silent after all this time of me asking for an interview? To me, the writing was on the wall, and it was obvious that we had caught our cheater.
The problem is you haven't caught anyone. You know what I mean? You haven't caught shit, unfortunately. You just caught another account that's gonna get banned and no one would care because you can create so many accounts like that. That's the whole problem with this.
11, what do you feel? Why do you feel like we need to go public with this?
Because if we don't, this game doesn't have too much longer to go.
It's like, oh my god, look at this dramatic, like saying this game doesn't, like, it has nothing to do with going with this public. That's my biggest problem with it. I'll talk about it later.
That's why. The reality of it is, and it's sad to say, that
yeah, it's just I don't want to like shit talk too much, but because I'm the entire video I'm literally shit talking, but it's just the feeling of self-importance, I think.
yeah, people are making cheats. But you know what's really messed up? People in the community, in the Star Citizen community, are using them.
Oh shit. Like every online game, people are making shit, and in every online game, people are buying them. And guess what? A lot of online games still live. I have very big questions to Star Citizen though. And again, I'm gonna kind of talk about it at the end of the video. So let's move on. But yeah, that's nothing new. That's nothing new.
And they're funding them. If somebody wants you out of the game, you're out of the game. Somebody wants to manipulate whatever's going on in a specific area, that's just what it is. People cheat in games. It's a playground for somebody learning how to develop cheats or to practice their cheats, and damn sure to sell them. Look at how much the ships cost, and we buy them. I feel like
I feel like a lot of people have not played other games besides Star Citizen. That's what I feel.
Community, the content creators of the community, and the dev team from CIG are involved.
Yeah, so if everyone gets involved, we can smoke them out, right?
Yeah,
that's a very big mistake.
Well, you
though.
have to look at our perspective. So 11th and I know of each other in passing, but never really took time to sit down and combat this. This situation kind of demanded that.
I think it's just the anti-cheat summit part 1 in the start of the 2023, just to create a roadmap for fighting the cheaters.
But for us, you got mentioned a year ago and then get mentioned again. So that sets off all kinds of bells and whistles for us. So we're like, potential insider, this guy could be working with them, there could have been a falling out. So you either become a target or an asset at that point.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we were. I believe we were both side by side without cooperation with each other, investigating you specifically. I believe that's what was happening.
We all knew we would have to go public with this, and we wanted to.
They still mentioned no actual reason why they would go public with it. And I'll get to that later.
We wanted to make sure we got everything right. We knew it was Grom that led us to the hacking Discord, or at the very least, it led me there. 11 and Branican have been hunting these men for years, and we knew what I saw that night was definitely cheating. After being around this game for a long time, I knew what I was seeing, but I had no proof in the sense of knowing how he was doing it, until 11 showed me this.
This video been for quite a while. Again, I would ask how Avenger 1 never ever saw it. Never. This been out for so long. With this Hawk, with the no shaders, no shadows, nothing, for better visibility, accelerates and insane accelerations, and all that stuff. Like getting 400 Gs or whatever, 300 Gs, I don't remember. Yeah, there we go, 400. Yeah, I saw it 4 months ago, yeah, or a half a year or something. Maybe even more. I don't remember the time frame for that video, but yeah.
I couldn't believe what my eyes were seeing. A Hawk going over 350 Gs. Its speeds topping 1600 or more.
Well, the hard limit for the speeding game is 2 kilometers per second. It's still the same. If anyone remembers the days where we could overcome the speed limit of the ship by accelerating in a specific direction and rotating, the speed would top out at 2 kilometers per second, 200 meters per second, right? So anything in this world can reach that speed. Actually, yesterday playing on PTU, I just accidentally bugged out my character, and I could EVA 2 kilometers per second. Just saying. So that's nothing surprising. Dealing with the accelerations of the ship, I don't know how deep the understanding of how games usually work, how deep of understanding Avenger 1 has, but I'm surprised he doesn't understand that anything that is client-driven, right? Anything that is any game manipulation that is client-driven is usually easily hackable. And we are talking right now just about the values. There's nothing crazy in this cheat. It is just the values. It's acceleration values, it's damage values, it's rate of fire values, ammunition values. It's just values. So all they did is crack. It's nothing crazy. It's like what any other cheat would do in any other game. Is just getting into the client, cheating on your anti-cheat engine, basically, so it doesn't detect you, right? And changing the values. There is even no aimbot. I haven't even seen a cheat still that will give you an aimbot for the ship in Star Citizen. And what I mean by that, a good aimbot that knows how to control the inputs for your pitch and yaw and would do its best to put your aim on the pip without jeopardizing your security. So it will not make your ship behave weirdly. It would just gonna be dead accurate with its rotations to put the aim on the pip. It will not over-rotate beyond what ship can do or over-accelerate. You would basically control the flight of the ship, and everything the cheat would do is use pitch and yaw to get the aim on the pip. I've never even seen that. That would be that would surprise me, actually. If something like that was in this video, I would be like, oh man, you know, this is kind of crazy now. So they actually managed to hook up the pitch and yaw to aim the pip. But no, it's just the values. It's literally just the values. It's like acceleration values, ammo values, whatever, some deletion of some shaders, so like the visibility is better. Nothing new. Why? What's the hype about it? It's been out for so long. It's the basic cheating you can get in the game on a client authoritative game, right? It's the basic. All you have to do is override and overcome the public anti-cheat that is called easy anti-cheat that any other private cheat would do. It's an infinite battle. This video is like super cringe because it's like it tries to hype up on the old topic and it tries to just, I don't know, milk views for something that is with the dramatic music and dramatic like script.
Instant accelerations, I knew right away that what I was looking at was the identical style of cheat that the Hornet I was fighting was using.
Yeah, it is.
I couldn't believe
it is.
that this
That's
kind
it.
of hack
Period.
existed in
That's
the
it.
game.
Like a Twitter post. Like literally a Twitter post.
Until both 11th and Branican showed me just how terrifying and how crazy some of these hacks can.
If Avenger 1 have played only 2 games in his life, which would be Star Citizen, which would be EVE Online and Star Citizen, I completely then understand his him being surprised, because EVE Online is a completely server authoritative game where this is not possible. Because in EVE Online, the only thing you are as a client, you're a button presser. Your client is a visualization of an Excel spreadsheet, and any action you do in EVE Online in your client is sending a signal to a server to do something. Like pressing a button. EVE Online client is a keyboard for a PC that is actually standing at the data center of CCP, right? So whenever you give an input, that input goes to a server and the server executes everything and calculates everything, and then it sends you back the result, right? So this kind of cheating is never possible in EVE unless you hack down the entire like backend. You literally hack the CCP servers, right?
Can get.
So if that's the was his main and only game and he never played anything else, I can understand the surprise he's seeing right now in EVE Online, in Star Citizen watching these videos, right? Other than that, if that's not the case, this surprise and all of this like hype is just an overreaction to make it feel more powerful. Yep, just your usual Call of Duty day, you know.
Too hot.
Your usual Call of Duty cheats overlay, or maybe they somehow got to the dev console, but I doubt it. Yeah, teleporting. Yep, nothing new. Let's go to Crusader. I'll comment on all of this later.
It became clear to me that what we were dealing with wasn't just some kids running around using some hacks.
Actually, it's almost kids running around using some hacks. Like, I haven't seen anything anything too crazy here. Like, kids nowadays are quite smart, right? Because right now it's only values and like the position of your ship. Like, there is nothing in these cheats for now that is custom work for the game, for Star Citizen specifically. It's just generic stuff, values and positioning, just generic stuff. Again, I didn't even see a ship aimbot, right? That would be custom stuff, specifically tailored for Star Citizen, specifically accessing the controls of pitch and yaw of the ship to guide the ship on the pip, for example. That I would applaud to that, but that's not even yet. It's like a generic cheat.
That what we were dealing with was a very serious threat to the future of Star Citizen.
You can inject hits and damage. I agree on that, but what I'm saying is a customly tailored thing to do the aimbot is the next level. It's like next step, right? When you tailor something specifically for the game without doing, because listen, injection of hits and damage, and all the stuff they're doing is quite frankly an open book, right? If you make your ship, if you create an aimbot for your ship to aim the pip, and then leave the entirety of all the values intact, how would you detect this and accuse someone of cheating? All you can say, they're really good at aiming, Ariston, you know what I mean? You will not even understand. You could say, oh, this dude is so aim-centric, you know what I mean? And then you can like tune out how good the aimbot is, so you miss something, you know, but you still can hit, like, you will out-aim anybody, right? That's why I'm talking about that. That would be much harder to detect.
I feel like this needs to go public, and why all of us need to be invested in this.
So leave like all the ship stats intact, so there is no trace of you like overcoming the actual ship stats. Just make an aimbot that will actually rotate your ship, and then hell, it's like another player would not be able to, like, being killed by that player will not be able to identify the problem visually looking at the opponent, right? It's just going to be get good moment. Man, his aim is so good, you know?
And we can pin it all on Bill Bono.
We know that Bill Bono is the creator of, or at least one of the developers behind that's the hack called Night City, right?
He's the head of everything.
Of everything, right? Now, how do we know that? Do we have evidence to support that theory? And then you sent me
Night City is the program that these developers have called their hack, and it's based off a cheat engine. Ace Toppy and Nightfire are the developers working on it, and we know that Bill Bono is Ace Toppy.
It's like it's a witch hunt, unnecessary
Detailed
witch
messages
hunt.
about how to pay through either PayPal or other means to get a subscription to a program they can use to cheat Star Citizen. A detailed list of how much money it costs for how much AUEC you can earn and get given, depending on how much you're able to donate. With his name being on the hack itself, and another fellow hacker in their Discord asking to confirm which one is actually him, Dr.
That is also like showing up the names openly in Discord. That actually shows how unprofessional and kids they are, right?
Funkenstein and Mantis Toblerone are also his alt accounts. Screenshots of the cheating rings over the years have provided CIG with not
All of this actually shows by not how they professional are, but how like unprofessional they are. All the screenshots with the names.
not only the names of the alternate accounts that this hacker is using, but also the names of his friends. We've investigated each of those names. We've also found screenshots linking that Nebuchadnezzar, in-game, actively cheating, posting and gloating to all his friends about how he's breaking the game. All of these screenshots were provided by 11th and Branican, who have both been publicly recognized by CIG for their contributions and assistance in helping track down and catch these hacking rings. Both of these men, in my opinion, are Star Citizen heroes, because they're doing the work that no one else will do. When I set out on this little quest of mine, all I wanted to do was prove that what I saw that night was real. But instead, it opened my eyes to the real.
So basically, he confirms the entire video he did is just to redeem himself in front of a public and not actually bring the cheating down, right? So all of that video that they talked about, they bringing them down, now he says, all I wanted to prove is I was right. In a one case I had, and then like calling out on Bet Sports and other guys multiple times, right? Is, you know, it should just go in the shadow of this one moment, right? I'm sorry.
Real fight that Star Citizen will have to fight. Hacking will kill Star Citizen if we do nothing about it. And CIG is going to need everyone's help. This game is a game made by people for people. And so everyone who watches this video, I call upon you, whether you're in the hacking rings or not. Fight. Put aside your differences about what you do, what your profession is, or the
another Senate motivational speech from Squadron 42.
The fact that you might not like somebody. The only fight that matters for Star Citizen is making sure that this game stays alive, and it's going to need the entire community to do it. It doesn't matter if you're a pirate, an anti-pirate, a miner, a trader, a businessman. No matter what you are, what you do in Star Citizen, all of us have a responsibility to make sure that we make this game the best that we can. I've used what influence I can to try and get as many people involved to make sure that they know I am not alone. It may not be a perfect game, and we may sometimes get real frustrated, but we love it, and it's our game. And I know for one thing, in a war between cheaters and players, I'm on the side of the players.
Yeah, boy.
Which side are you on?
I'm on the side of no bullshit. All right, so here is my conclusion. Here is my conclusion. This is more of a redemption video for one episode than anything else. There have been nothing new in this video, I'm sorry, Avenger One, that people who knew didn't know. The only new things that we seen is probably few screenshots from the Discord that, like, whatever, that shows how important you are even to the cheaters. On top of that, this video is generally bad because it highlights the cheating possibilities to the players who might be bad and who might interest themselves in using those cheats, and now they know better where to look for them. So it's one thing it does great is promoting the cheats to be used. No one was took down by this, because even if you ban an account or two, it'll do nothing because the guys will buy new accounts and still use the cheat. Unfortunately, CAG will probably not be ever able to legally enforce and chase those guys down and put them to prison. Right? Because that's not possible. Otherwise, all the big publishers that struggle with cheating would also do that, right? Not only like EA Games, whatever, you know. So, is this a big deal? No, I don't think I don't think so. Is cheating endangering the existence of Star Citizen? Partially, yes. I agree with this statement because unlike other session-based games, when it comes to an MMO, using cheats in a player-driven world where actions matter and have consequences to economy, to your assets, to everything can be devastating. I agree with that. It's dangerous for all games. It is more dangerous for games like Star Citizen than it for any other game. If you encounter cheater in Battlefield, what you do, you switch the server. If you encounter a cheater in Call of Duty or any Battle Royale, you lose and you start the new match without that cheater, right? Unless it is like overrun by cheaters and every match has more cheaters than real players, then it's a big thing, yeah, but that's a whole other topic. In a game where in future we are going to have player-driven or at least partially player-driven economy, lose of assets, lose of money, lose of like everything, this could really cripple and devastate the game to the point people will stop playing it. So I can agree with this statement. Will this video do something about it? I don't think so. I think CEG is very well aware of what's going on. I think this video is more of a just I need to feel important kind of thing. What are the solutions? It is really hard to say. I explained already why you cannot do this in something like EVE Online. It's just the way the game works. What can be done is more server checks. Obviously, you can never make Star Citizen completely server-side. You have to understand that server-side games have their limitations. Like if your input goes only as an input to the server and then the server returns, then everything you do is delayed. It's not it's completely unnoticeable or non-critical in a game like EVE Online. Another good example would be a game called World of Tanks, or probably any World of Warships. Those games have completely server-driven technology, where even to drive and shoot your tank or a ship, you would be sending a packet to a server, and the server will return the answer to you, and only after that your tank will move or shoot. With a good latency in those games, it is possible, but those games are very slow paced. Like the way the tanks move, the way the ships float and move and fire, they're very slow paced. So like if you have a okay-ish connection to the internet, you kind of don't really notice this server-side thing, and thus you cannot really like cheat, because it's not that your client is telling to your server that you move an X amount of speed per second. It's the server telling your client just what to show you, because the server decides how you move. In Star Citizen, with the way the ships move, the ships operate, the ships calculate its physics, it is quite close to impossible, at least at the current state of technology, of internet connection, of hardware, of servers, to do that. So unfortunately, Star Citizen is kind of doomed to be client-side, mostly. The only thing they can probably do is server checks to what the client does, right? So initially everything happens on a client, but server confirms those things maybe with a bit of a delay. And if something feels wrong to the server, like too wrong, you're kind of getting kicked. if something feels just like sus to the server, you are getting rubber banded back to where you have to be if you're like over accelerating. Not the player on your screen jumps and teleports around, so making it harder for you to fight. You rubber band back and have a headache dealing with that, right? That's what has to be done. Obviously, like it's still crazy how the dude could just teleport from one location to another without a server check, right? I don't know why that is even possible still. Like the server would accept the teleport, right? So what this tells us, the game has close to 0 server checks, right? Close to 0 server checks. And I've been talking about this for years. This exact speech about server-side versus client-side authoritative gameplay, this is nothing new. I've been saying that cheating will kill the games. Again, I've never bothered to put it on YouTube. I've been talking about this for years and years and years. Since I started streaming, I was talking about in Discord with my guys before I was streaming. This is a very great fear and danger for the future of this game, considering it's an MMO game. Because in most MMO games, the same thing with World of Warcraft, everything is client authoritative. Everything. At least most of the parts. So server checks and anti-cheat engine. So anti-cheat engine is something that can only checks your client, right? We have a easy anti-cheat. For a lot of years, CAG, before easy anti-cheat was a thing, for a lot of years, CAG told us that they will fight cheats in a custom way. So deep inside, I hope they will come up with their own custom anti-cheat that will be created and tailored specifically for Star Citizen, and thus it will be much harder to overcome by any private cheat engine, right? Because no one knows how it operates. It's not public. It's not been used in all other games around, so it's always harder to overcome something customly tailored. But this didn't happen, at least for now. CAG went with the let's go easy anti-cheat, right? What can I say? I'm not an engineer to know exactly how the anti-cheat works, how it kind of scans your DLL files, whatever it has to scan, like control. Can they modify EAC to the point where it's going to be really close to impossible to overcome it? I doubt it. I think server checks is like something they have looked into. The problem is, here we go, guys. The problem is, server checks cost processing power. Now, look at the server FPS you have in 3.18 and tell me what processing power can those servers commit to server checks, server-side checks. Zero, unless they come up with a scenario where they could connect into all of that system third-party servers that will not that will kind of monitor the traffic, right? Monitor the traffic, and without crippling the game servers, they will run in a cooperation with the main game servers, right? But not cripple them and do everything like all those checks. I don't know if that's possible. Again, I'm not an engineer, right? I'm not an engineer I'm not the engineer to kind of judge it. So yeah, the future on all of this is pretty grim. This is nothing new. It's been discussed so many times. I just don't know, like giving this shit more publicity than it, like those wars are fought in the shadows, and they have to be fought in the shadows infinitely. Like, no one really needs those videos besides the attention. It's like, imagine a FBI, CIA, Homeland Security will come up with a public statement and show off all the information they have about a terrorist cell without bringing down and before bringing down the terrorist cell. That's literally the same thing. Oh, we know this is a dude, this is his name, you know, like this is this and this is where he lives, but we never caught him, you know. That's literally what this video is. So, unfortunately. I'm happy for Avenger 1. He enjoyed probably creating this content. I wish it wouldn't be here. Not that it's not easy enough to find cheats for Star Citizen, right? I think you can Google it pretty easily. Now, even more people seeing how it works will do that. Yeah. I think we're done with the topic. I think we're done with the topic of this redemption video. No matter of what my opinion is about the video, guys, here is the link to it. If you want to rewatch it with me pausing it every 5 seconds and give this video like whatever you think it's worth, like or dislike, feel free. This needs to be addressed, says Nubifier, and if one crew can create tools to inject exploits, they're likely meant. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what Redler says, right? It's not about witch hunting the guys who do this. It's about coming up with a solution that will prohibit this way of intrusion, right? It's we've discovered the virtual nickname of the dude like in a Discord. So what? So what? He'll change the name, right?